If you follow my main channel over at youtube.com/timcast, you may have seen my main video, comes out every day at 4 p.m., talking about how Donald Trump has just ended asylum for Central Americans with a new rule. Now, it will likely face legal challenge, but the only way that's going to happen is if people get riled up, file a lawsuit, and actually go after him. Now, you may be saying, Tim, why are you talking about immigration? This video is about Trump and Pelosi and what's happening. Well, it's actually quite simple. Instead of talking about Donald Trump ending asylum for Central Americans, what is the media concerned about? Well, hold on. I don't want to be overly hyperbolic. There are people on Twitter saying, oh no, Trump's taking away asylum. But I kid you not, most of the tweets, because I follow a bunch of journalists and news organizations, are talking about Donald Trump's naughty words. That's right. Donald Trump set out a series of tweets that even I criticized as being stupid. And the media, hook, line, and sinker, Trump plays them like a fiddle. The media, it's pathetic. Completely pathetic. Because it has been years now, Trump has been playing the media for fools. All he has to do is say one naughty word and boom, they go running full speed. We need a media in this country, journalism, to actually report information and challenge those in power. Not all the ways challenge those in power, but that's what the media does. It keeps them in check. Says like, hey, there's wrongdoing, people. Listen, journalism is public sector intelligence. The government has their private and governmental intelligence, and we have public intelligence. The news. We share information. Hey, this is an important thing you should know, and you should figure out your own opinion. Remember when news used to be like, here's what happened. What do you think about it? Now they're like, here's what I think about what happened, and you're actually thinking like, is he telling the truth or is he lying? Is he framing this incorrectly? What do we have today? Donald Trump, I tweeted this, Donald Trump could fart. And these journalists would run full speed and get a big old whiff so they could write about how bad the smell was. Where sane people would be like, I don't care that the president farted. I'm not going to go chase after him like some lunatic. I'm going to see what's going on with policy. Oh, but heaven forbid Trump says naughty words. Here's the latest update, okay? Nancy Pelosi announces House resolution to condemn Trump's xenophobic tweets. You couldn't, maybe, I don't know, work towards some legal challenge towards Trump's asylum rules? Now, listen, I'm not saying it's absolute. It's entirely possible they can do two things at once. I'm not saying that, like just because they're concerned about what he's saying, they're not concerned about asylum. But look at this story. It's from today. It's got 6,307 shares. And I look on Twitter and all I see is people saying, why aren't the Republicans condemning Trump's naughty words? And I'm just like, where's the talk of the asylum thing? Like, that's a huge story. Like Trump literally passed a rule saying no more asylum for Central Americans and other people. Heaven forbid the media class and politicians focus on that. But you know what? I think at the end of the day, they don't care. That's why they don't talk about it. Why don't you see activists on the left trying to talk about the asylum thing? Trump knows. He's a clever man. They like to say he's dumb. He's not dumb. Okay? He's not. I've heard stories about him. I would certainly call him, I guess, oafish, right? Where he's crass and crude and he gaffes a lot. But it doesn't mean he's stupid. Okay? It just might mean that he's not an articulate, charismatic individual but it depends. I don't want to say he's not charismatic because he's certainly speaking to his base and they hear him. So there's different ways to talk. Actually, let me say this real quick. You learn this in sales. If you see somebody wearing a suit and you walk up to him and start talking like, yo, what up, dude, man, it's a nice suit, man. What's going on? He's going to be like, what is this? You walk up to a guy wearing a suit and say, how do you do, sir? Nice to meet you. My name is Tim. How beautiful day we have here. You see a guy who's wearing like skater clothes and baggy pants and you walk up to him like, good day, sir. Nice to meet. Right? You have to match the kind of persona of the individual. So Trump is catering specifically to his base. He knows what he's doing. He is not stupid. Think about this. Do you think the Democrats actually care about the border crisis? I think the answer is a hard no. They need to oppose him and accuse him of racism. So what do? The border crisis is Trump's mistake. He's racist. So what does Trump do? He dangles his hand over here. Look over here. Look over here, everybody. Oh, don't look at the border anymore. I'm trying to fix the border. He wants to deliver on his promise. So he dangles the carrot over the other side, says something offensive. They run full speed. I'll put it this way. Trump is signing papers, right, that change national policy on asylum. And they're all looking and yelling, and then all of a sudden goes, but wait, and then he farts. And then all of a sudden they run behind him and get a big old whiff and ignore the fact that he's writing this bill up somewhere else. The thing is, it's politicking. They love this. I'm sure the Democrats are like, oh, wonderful. We'll call him a bigot and a xenophobe and all of these things, and that'll be great for our re-election campaign. Because they don't care about the migrant crisis. They don't. They care about the biggest press issue that's going to get them re-elected. So here's what happens. Trump is playing a longer game than they are. He knows that in the short term, no one is going to care. No one in his base is going to care if he says a xenophobic tweet. They're sick and tired of it. It's giving Trump the leeway to say these things. AOC called Nancy Pelosi, implied that Nancy Pelosi was racist. So do you think Trump cares that they call him that? Absolutely not. And nor does his base. They are fed up. What Trump does know is that they're obstructing his border bills and plans on solving the border crisis. So he's going to give them a good old distraction by taking a big old fart in the other direction, and they run after it and then wave it in their faces so they can get a chance to get reelected, saying, "Ooh, it smells bad. Everybody, look, Trump smells bad." And then the dumb people are like, "Oh, he smells bad. I'm going to vote for you." It's absolutely insane. And what's most insane about this, I promise I'll stop making fart jokes, is that Trump has been doing this for years. Can I ask you a question? Why is Nancy Pelosi announcing a House resolution to condemn Trump's xenophobic tweets, but they couldn't even condemn Ilhan Omar when basically everybody left and right was like, dude, that was wrong. Now, of course, you had the fringes of the left and the right absolutely agreeing with Ilhan Omar. Creepy. But like regular people in this country, Democrat, Republican, they were like, we don't like what you're doing, Ilhan Omar. And did they draft a resolution over her tweets? No. They're doing this because they want to earn brownie points with the woke crowd. And it is a downward spiral of destruction. It is entropy that will wipe out the Democrats. Because as we know, people, for the most part, are not woke. It's less than 8% of the country. So congratulations, Nancy Pelosi. You're not doing anything to solve any problems. You're just calling Trump a mean word back. Trump goes on Twitter and says naughty words. So we're gonna get Congress together to draft a bill to call Trump a word. Great. This is the state of politics in the United States. Thank you for allocating resources towards calling Trump xenophobic. That's going to solve the problems in our country. Great. So let's actually read the story. Nancy Pelosi on Monday urged House Democrats to support a resolution to condemn Trump for tweeting that 4 Democratic congresswomen of color should go back to their countries, even though all are U.S. citizens. I certainly think the tweet was ridiculous. Look, if you don't have to like my opinion, I'm not telling you to. I'm telling you my opinion. Disagree with me all day and night. Hey, that's great. That's what we're here for. And I know the Trump supporters disagree. I got ratioed to Kingdom Come on Twitter when they were tweeting up all crazy like, actually, I should pull that back. It was actually a fairly moderate response from people. I was actually impressed. It was a ton of people calmly saying, for the most part, you're wrong. Here's why you're wrong. He's making a good point, etc. And actually, I tremendously respect that. That's the craziest thing. I bring this up all the time, is that I sit down with Trump supporters and a lot of my liberal, my more progressive friends, and we can have conversations where I'll say something and they'll be like, I disagree. But it's Twitter, right? Twitter is this nightmare minefield of crazy individuals outraged for clicks, okay? But here's the reality. When it comes to the conversation that I see typically in the center and on the right, it's more reasonable. They're absolutely crazy, like right-wing individuals who are sending spam and nastiness at the left, for sure. I've seen it. But like I put out a tweet where I called Trump stupid. I said it was the stupidest tweet ever put. I'll never vote for him. And the response I got wasn't, for the most part, like, you're a dumb man. It was like, Tim, you got to rethink this one, Trump. And I'm like, I'm not going to agree, right? I don't think Trump's tweets, look, I don't like his tweets, but I'm going to say this. Upon reflection and looking at these other stories, it really does seem like Trump is playing these people like chumps. Playing them straight up like chumps. And I think it was David Pakman. Man, I've been a bigger fan of his lately. You don't have to like his content. He's more progressive. But he tweeted out, don't take Trump's bait. And I'm like, thank you. Look, man, love Trump or hate him, you can recognize he is baiting these individuals. So respect to someone on the left who's going to point to what Trump is doing and be like, guys, he's baiting you and you're falling for it. And they did. And now here we are. The House cannot allow the president's characterization of immigrants to our country to stand. Our Republican colleagues must join us in condemning the president's xenophobic tweets. Pelosi wrote in a letter to House Democrats announcing a forthcoming. What is the point of this? What is the point of getting all the Congress people together to be like, can we collectively condemn Trump? Oh, is that going to do something? Do you think Trump's base will care when they hear their rep signed onto a thing condemning Trump? They don't care. It doesn't mean anything. Like if someone came in and said, I ordered lunch at this restaurant and it had a hair in it, I would like you to condemn the restaurant. I'd be like, sure. And what's going to happen next? Is the restaurant going to stop putting hair in your food? Maybe. I don't know. Why don't you just call them and complain yourself? Seems like the restaurant's going to do whatever they want. It's not a law. It's just a resolution that does nothing but waste our time and ignore everything look, I'm not really frustrated, right? I'm just kind of like, it's funny. It's really funny that Trump can do this for years. It's like, here's what I see when I see these stories. Here's what I think, like what I imagine. I imagine Trump is like sitting in a recliner and he's just got like strings and he's pulling them back and forth and you've got like the media just doing whatever. Like Trump can, it's very simple. He's signing policy with one hand, and then he's giving the middle finger with the other, and the media is obsessed with him flicking off the media. Trump, I gotta say, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I think about Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta is one of Trump's greatest assets. What a dumb man. What an awful and just ignorant, but maybe he loves it. Think about it. Instead of covering stories about what Trump is doing, what he's planning, people like Acosta are obsessed with just getting Trump. And Trump loves it. Of course, Trump wants the controversy. Trump doesn't want the story about his policy after his press conference. Trump comes out for a press conference. Look at this. Trump comes out in the Rose Garden, says something. Jim Acosta is taking selfies about how he doesn't like social media influencers. Brian Karem is yelling threats to Sebastian Gorka. That's a better story. Trump is giving the middle finger over here, and the media loves it. They love it. They're so egotistical that when Trump says a word, they're like, hey, man, everybody, look at me. Look what Trump is doing. No, dude, don't look at you. Look at the issues, please. So you know what? I'll say this. Not a big fan of Trump's tweet, but I really do think it was calculated. I'm not trying to say he's playing 4D chess or anything like that, but goddamn if the media doesn't love running up to Trump and sniffing his farts. They fall for it every single time, and they're playing the game, and they know it. They are egotists, and they don't care about you, and they don't care about the truth. Of course, there are people who do. Not every journalist. There are a lot of good journalists, and I feel bad for them. I do. I especially feel bad for whoever had to write this nonsense story. Christina Marcos, I'm really sorry you had to write this crap. We shouldn't. Can we, you know what? Oh, man. Welcome to politics in 2019. Hopefully things don't get worse, but I think they will. But Trump really knows how to give people a WWE spectacle. You know, he can go off and do his serious business, but all he has to do is say a silly word. Look what he did when he said airplanes in the Revolutionary War, and the media goes nuts. Yep. Look, I think the president makes gaffes. I think that one was a gaffe. But you got to admit, sometimes he does it on purpose because he sees how it works. I got one more segment coming up for you in a few minutes. Stick around, and I will see you shortly.